We could do that now. Thank you. So hi, everyone. Thank you for being on tonight. I'm Noel Schroeder, and I'm a sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. I joined the business almost 3 years ago. I jumped in with both feet to start taking Juice Plus capsules and start the business at the same time. I was looking for a new business, something that I could really sink my teeth into. I had been an entrepreneur for a long time as an energy healer and a yoga teacher and artist and designer, but was really looking for a business where I didn't have to do everything by myself, that I could have support from a team, support from a company, where I didn't have to worry about my website and billing and shipping and all of those administrative details that I'm not very good at and I don't enjoy. And I got the fruit and vegetables and capsules part of it. I understood the benefits behind dehydrated produce in powders because I knew that I wasn't eating enough, and I realized that most people weren't either. So it became a no-brainer, but I have to admit that was my second go-around with Juice Plus, because the first time I had been introduced to it 3 years prior to that, I said no, and it didn't really catch the vision. So I'm very grateful that I finally did, and so happy to be here. So tonight I'm going to talk about events, and really the lifeline of our business is our events, and it's how we keep our business going. It's how we educate people on Juice Plus. It's how we bring people into our community. When they come to an event, they get so much third-party validation that takes the pressure off us. We've been having a conversation probably for a while with this person, but this gives them a chance now to see it from a different perspective, to learn from other people, sometimes experts in the medical field. And so I am going to focus specifically on those events that feature speakers. But just to give you an example, I'm going to share the screen and show you some visuals here. What is an event? Well, it can be a phone call. It can be a lunch date. It could be a connection call, a Zoom call, a conference call, a Facebook party, a home party, a venue event where maybe you have an event at someone's yoga studio or restaurant. It could be a speaker event. You know, a medical expert is always a great speaker event. It might be a regional training for distributors, or it might be our conference that happens twice a year. Can everybody see my screen? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay. So focusing on speaker events. First of all, why? What's the purpose? Well, we have a lot of passion for what we do. There's a lot of purpose in what we do, right? We want to help people. We want to inspire healthy living around the world. There's community in what we do, and there's passive income, and we all love that. So there are lots of reasons to do our business and lots of reasons to share with other people through events. When you when we have a speaker event coming up, and usually it's 3 to 4 of those a year, they're special. Every event is important, but a speaker event usually means we've had, the leadership team has put a lot of energy and time and work into finding a speaker. The speaker is traveling from somewhere in another part of the country, sometimes, you know, all the way from the West Coast. Sometimes it's on their dime. Sometimes the company is paying for them to travel. But at any event, this person is an expert, and it's not that this person isn't going to come around all the time. They're not going to be here every week or every month. We might see them once every couple of years if we're lucky. And so it's really an opportunity to maximize our business, to maximize the opportunity to educate people about our business and about our products. And so I always look at these speaker events as this sort of golden opportunity to really help people understand what we do. Because as we know from the day-to-day reaching out and following up, you know, we get a lot of no's. We get a lot of people who just don't get it. And so by bringing them to an event like this, they get a chance to really get it. And so I look at these as like a golden ticket opportunity. So I want to get as many people as there as possible, because I really want them to hear from someone who, you know, probably had a lot of skepticism in the beginning, just like they do. And now, then they looked at all of the medical research and they were blown away. And now they have a great story to tell and really compelling information. So when you decide you're going to attend an event and get and have guests come with you, you really need to own the event. You want to dress up. You want to show up early to help. You want to be ready to network. So even if you don't have any guests, you want to be there to talk to people, to help your sideline friends, to help your downline, to help your upline. And if you have guests, you want to be introducing them to all of those people, because that's how they get an understanding of the community and the larger vision of what we do in our business. So I got a lot of this training from Stacy Joy, and Michelle put this training together in the fall, and it helped me a lot to really take my inviting to the next level. And Stacy Joy Ellis's motto is start early, go wide, go big. And I just like that. You know, it's like, if you're gonna do this business, why not go big with an event and have, you know, at least 3 to 5 guests at these events. So there is this defining moment of, are you all in? And sometimes we can't be, for one reason or another. There's a conflict. You know, a child's concert is the same night as the event, and it's just too important. You've got to go to the child's concert. Or your family vacation is planned the night of the event, and there's nothing you can do about it. But as long as you know you can be there, make it your defining moment that you're all in and you want 3 to 5 guests at that event. And if you can make a, you know, commitment to yourself to have 3 to 5 guests at these speaker events consistently, you're going to just see your business really grow, and you're going to feel so good about going to that event and sharing Juice Plus with all of these people. So the first thing you need to do is pre-qualify. And there are a couple of different ways to do this. I think all of us in our business at one point or another have to ask the question somewhere as we're building a relationship with somebody, or maybe we already have that relationship with someone, is it okay if I invite you to events? So maybe they've become a customer already, or maybe they're just somebody we're starting to talk to about Juice Plus. Would it be okay if I invited you to some events? And Stacy Joy has some nice verbiage here that I'll share with you. Let's see. Can you all see this? Okay. I'm just going to move it over so I can see it. So, you know, you're starting to create a master list, a memory jogger, a separate memory jogger for this event. So you look at your, you know, your memory jogger that you use for your general business, and then you create a separate memory jogger for this event. And then if you haven't had this sort of pre-qualifying conversation with people, you can send them a message individually that says, you know, Jane, it can take 2 or 3 educational exposures before your light bulb goes on. Do I have your permission to invite you to only the really great presentations that come to town? Now, you and I know that every one of these presentations is great, but you really want them to feel like, you know, you're really making sure that you're inviting them to like the best events that are coming up. And you know you are. So you're being honest. And that way, you know, you have permission to send the invite, and so if they say no, that's okay, but you know, you're not bothering them. I know a lot of people get worried about bothering people, and this way, you know that that's not happening. So you create this master list, this memory jogger for the event. And then you need to get to know the value of the speaker and determine the target audience. So researching the speaker, watching videos of the speaker, asking the upline, your upline and sidelines about the speaker, who is this person? Because if you've never heard them speak before, you really want to get a sense of who they are. And once the flyer is made, usually the bio is on the flyer, but until, you know, you just want to kind of gather your information so you know who's going to talk. So for example, Dr. David Phillips, when he comes to town, you know, his specialty, he's a sports medicine guy, right? He's an Ironman triathlete. So all of the people that you know, from the people who are weekend warriors at the gym to the, Ironman triathletes, anybody that exercises, you want them on your master list, because he's going to talk about oxidative stress and you want them to hear that talk. Because how many of you have had people tell you, oh, I'm healthy because I exercise? So they don't think they need Juice Plus. So you're going to want, at the very top of your list, the people that are your target audience for this speaker. And of course you can invite more people, because the talk is still going to have a general enough talk to apply to anyone. But who are those people, if it's Dr. David Phillips, that would really value listening to him? In the case of Stacey Joy Ellis, since her specialty is gut health and the microbiome, and she's not going to talk only about this when she comes on March 20th, but think about the people who have digestive health issues that are complaining about problems with their digestion, or maybe their kids are having problems with their digestion. Those are the people to have on the top of your list. I like to start really thinking about this event and who I'm going to invite, and start getting things ready 4 to 6 weeks before the event. So we're already at the 4-week mark for the Stacey Joy Ellis event. And the way that you want to start getting the word out is either with a save the date flyer or message, or a Facebook invite. So this is more of a general call. If you do a group message of some kind, make sure you set it up so that when they reply to you, they're not replying to everybody in the group message, that they're only replying to you. So whether it's with Facebook Messenger or text, if you don't know how to set it up that way, and frankly, I've never done it, don't do it, because you'll just tick people off and you'll lose them. So make sure that if you do some kind of general message, there's a way for them to reply just to you. I prefer the Facebook invite. It's a great way to set up an event page. You have all the details on there. You don't have to keep repeating, the address and the time, and the bio of the speaker is usually on there. The flyer is on there. And even if they haven't responded to the event page, Facebook is automatically going to send reminders as we get closer to the event. So that part is done for you. And if they say even a maybe or interested, they should see the posts in the event page that you can be putting in there to kind of get people excited about the event. So it's a way to kind of refer back to when you start to send your individual messages, say, I put you on the event page, all the details are there. You can even take a screenshot of the event page if we don't have a flyer out in time, and use that as, a way to text people the details of the event. So then you want to start somewhere in the 3 to 4 week range before the event. You want to start to send private messages. So you're starting to work down your list. And I'm going to show you some verbiage. So I have to find, I think this is one. So you may be getting some people on the Facebook invite starting to show interest. You may be getting no responses. For the people that are showing interest, you can send a private message that says, Jane, if I send you an invitation to an amazing health talk featuring Dr. David Phillips, an Ironman triathlete and MD, will you open it and consider attending this with me? This is directly out of Eric Worre's GoPro verbiage, if I would you. So this is a great strategy for getting people to answer you, for them to sort of help them understand that this is really important to you, and that you're looking for a response, that you really, you're investing some time in them. You really want them to come. Will they consider? On mission-driven model, I have to think for a second how to show you that. Here's an inspiring healthy living event verbiage. Hi, Kelly. Do you want to have a night out on Thursday and come with me to a nutrition talk? We have an incredible doctor coming to speak. Dr. Richard DuBois is a well-respected infectious disease doctor and is speaking about the power of nutrition to heal and prevent disease. He will share nutrition tips and a simple way to add more fruits and veggies to your diet. I can pick you up at 5:30 and we can go out to dinner and then head over to the talk. Here's a short video about him. Are you in? And then, you can follow up if they're not sure and say, we only have these events twice a year, so I'm excited to have you be part of this one. I think it will be our best ever. Please leave your wallet at home. I can't wait for you to hear this wonderful information. So there is this urgency. People don't realize that a speaker that comes here from another part of the country may not come here again for a long time. So there is this sense of like, this is really important. This is a very special night, and I really would love you to be there. And then I have a little bit of verbiage I put together for the Stacy Joy event. Hi, so-and-so, how are you? I'm wondering if you would be open to attending an event coming up in March. The speaker is a holistic nurse who specializes in gut health, the microbiome. She's amazing. I would love to have you as my guest. This would be to somebody who has a little bit of knowledge, maybe not a lot, on gut health and the microbiome and what that even means. There are going to be some other people that don't have any idea what those words mean, so you wouldn't use that vocabulary on them. You might say something like, hi, so-and-so, how are you doing? Would you be open to attending an event coming up in March? The speaker is a holistic nurse who's going to talk about digestive health and how it affects overall health. I love her, and I would love to have you as my guest. I thought of you because of the digestive issues you've been experiencing. People like to hear that you would love to have them as their guest. It makes them feel special. And especially if you're thinking about the issue that you know they have and you're applying it to this particular topic. I thought of you because they like to know that you're thinking of them. Here's another example. Hi, so-and-so, how are you? There's an event coming up in March with a holistic nurse. She's going to talk about digestive health, how digestive health affects our overall health. I thought of you because your daughter is having so many digestive health issues. I would love to have you as my guest. Would you consider attending it with me? We could go together if you'd like. So, depending on what your relationship is like with the person, if they live nearby or on the way, you might offer to give them a ride. You might offer to meet up with them for dinner before or after. So you can make it like this kind of outing, this fun event out on the town with someone, especially, parents. They're like always dying to get out of the house if they can and do something different. So I think that, appeals to a lot of people. And then even like for tonight's Tamara Sachs event, I just sent out a bunch of messages this afternoon, very last minute. Hey, Chuck, how are you? Wondering if you'd like to listen to a doc talk about heart health in JP tonight. She's a functional medicine doc in Connecticut. We'll be doing our international training call. I thought of you because of your blood pressure. He can't make it, but he sounds interested. Can I follow up later? And I said, yes, there's usually recordings. Do you want me to send it? And he did respond after that and said, yes, please, I would appreciate it. And so I said, of course, thank you. And there's the rest of his response. Here's another one. Stay-at-home mom. I'm sorry, not a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids who also works full-time. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? Wondering if you'd like to listen to a doc. Okay, same thing. But this time I thought of you because of your openness to JP and with how busy you are. Maybe it's easier to listen to a call from the comfort of your own home. Yes, hubby in Phoenix. Story never gets old, right? Also, I want to get some kids' vitamins from you anyway. Great. Here's the info for the call. Psyched to have you on. And then I sent her, whoops, can't move this. And I sent her the call information. So you start sending these private messages and getting responses and kind of navigating that dialogue over the next couple of weeks. And then, and here's where the numbers game comes in. Generally, 10% of people are going to say yes to an invite to an event, to an invite to learn more about Juice Plus, to an invite to joining your team. So that's 1 out of 10. So if you only invite 10 people, you'll probably have 1 guest, and then there's a really, really good chance that guest is going to cancel at the last minute. How many of you have had people cancel at the last minute? We all have, right? And we get so upset because we put all this work into inviting, and then we have no guests when the event finally happens. So what you want to do is build some insurance. If you invite 50 people, now you've got 5 people that say yes. There's probably still going to be 1 or 2 that cancel, but there's a good chance you'll have 2 or 3 guests that actually show up. Imagine if you invited 60 or 70 or 100 people, and you have the time to do that if you start planning this 4 to 6 weeks in advance. Now you've got potentially 8 to 10 people saying yes. And then if you have cancellations, you could still easily have 5 people or more at this event. That's, to me, is very exciting. That creates a lot of energy, a lot of buzz. We had 130 people at the Dr. Du Bois event. I mean, that's a room full. And I think, word gets out that, hey, those Juice Plus events are really cool. And I'm in a lot of business networking groups where a lot of the people that I'm inviting have their own businesses, and they want any kind of free opportunity to meet new people and network. So they love that. And they're always like, I can't make that one, but will you keep me on your invite list? Because I want to get to one of those. When I say, oh yeah, we pull in 100 to 150 people at these events, their eyes pop. Because typically, they have to pay for something like that to go meet all of those people. So really make that commitment that the numbers game is important, and you've got to invite a lot of people to get a lot of people to that event. About 1 week prior to your event, tap on those people that expressed interest in coming. So they're either your maybes or their yeses. And you want to check in on the maybes and ask them if they're coming, and you want to confirm with the yeses, and make plans if you're going to be having dinner before or after, if you're going to be picking them up. And even you can start talking about, what time they think they'll be coming, because the early birds tend to get really good seats. And if they're not going to be able to get there early, you'll save them a seat. So I really like to save seats for my guests. I think it's a really nice thing if I can get there early enough to kind of have all my guests sitting together, have good seats, and be able to feel like they have a place to sit if they have to show up, just as the speaker's about to start. About 1 to 2 days prior to the event, you want to confirm again, because we know so life happens, right? They forget, something comes up last minute, so even when we've confirmed 1 to 2 days prior, there's a good chance you're going to get somebody who all of a sudden has a sick kid, or is sick themselves, or got called into work, or something happened. So that confirmation is like, you're also saying to them, this is really, really important to me. And I really want you to be there, because I really care about you. And that's why this is important to me, because I really want you to hear what this person has to say, because what your guests' health issues are, and what your guests' financial issues are, and you want them to hear this valuable information, and you don't want them to miss it, because this speaker's not coming back for a long time. So now it's showtime. Now it's the day of the event. You've got all your plans confirmed, your guests confirmed. Stacy Joy recommends, and I haven't done this before, but I think I'm going to start to implement this. She does a little guest package of pamphlets and samples. Now I have to try and move everything over and find it. Bear with me here. Here it is. So she puts together a little envelope, so it's kind of indiscreet, just for the guests who really are not that familiar with Juice Plus. So, I always invite tons of my customers. So I wouldn't necessarily give these to my customers, because I've probably already given them these things before. But 2 packets of complete, one of each of the bars, gummy samples, the research summary, a couple of brochures, and a business card or 2. This is really, it's a nice way to say thank you, I think. It's a really nice way to say thank you for taking the time to come here. I know you have a really busy schedule, and this was not easy to, finagle this, and I appreciate your time and your efforts. And, this is some information and some things you can try. Then you want to follow up. So the event's over. You really want to find out how people feel about the event, what they got out of it. And, my tendency is just to say, what did you think? Or give me your feedback. And I think it's better really to ask questions like, and I have some verbiage from Stacy, again, if you can bear with me. All right, I can close all of these now so I can see what I'm doing. So you might say something like, and this is for those who attended and those who wanted to attend but couldn't, or said they were coming but were no shows for whatever reason. What did you like most about the presentation? Does Juice Plus make sense to you? Is there anything else you need to know before getting started? And then for those people who couldn't make it, are you open to receiving a short YouTube video? And you might even do the Eric Worre language of, if I sent you a video, would you watch it? And then you want to take action on those follow-ups. So this is an example of Stacy Joy. She had a really successful event. She had a lot of guests show up, and she had to travel like 2 days later. So she jammed in meetings with 6 people before she left on her business trip to talk about either the business and or the product. She processed 7 orders from those guests and already established customers. You know, they were either brand new or already established customers. And then she sent out more education and made follow-up appointments in the future with 5 of those people. So she had a ton of guests, and she had a lot of productivity out of that event in the follow-up and in the follow-up action. So these are really the steps to getting butts in seats. And when you get butts in seats, you just have more fun. I mean, that's the bottom line, because there's no more joy, I think, than really sharing this with people and getting them to experience what we're experiencing all the time. How inspired we get with these events, how excited we get to see all of our friends and be with this community, and to grow our business, which is what we're here to do. So, it's a win-win for everyone. They get a chance to learn more, to educate themselves, to make a more educated decision. And we get a chance to build those relationships, to do great customer care if they happen to be customers. And again, to grow our business, to maybe inspire one of our customers to become a team member, or maybe inspire someone who's brand new to the whole thing to jump in with both feet. You just never know where these things will lead. And it's always so rewarding to really maximize the opportunity of a speaker event and have as many people there as possible. So start early, go wide, and go big. And don't be attached to people saying no. Don't get attached to the outcome when they say no, because I know how disappointing that is. I still get disappointed. But if you can just let it go and keep moving and copy and paste that message and just send it to as many people as possible, you'll get on a roll and you'll get more and more confident the more you do it. And the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And then maybe your 10% numbers will start to move up to more like 20%. And you'll get even more out of your, 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 invites. So that is all I have. Any questions?